Should be live. Let me see if this works. What is up, beautiful people? All right. And I think we should be good to go. We are good to go. The comments are working. Drew, my man, we're waiting on Dom. He didn't pay his Wi-Fi bill. He was in, he was out. But we were talking a little bit off camera, backstage, if you will, how we were good. We were fine with our decision. Family time. I have stuff with work. I couldn't get off of work. I had a lovely dinner with the fam. And then you start seeing day 0, day 1. And you're just like, oh, the FOMO is real. And then all I could think about was, of course, is doom and gloom for all these dang YouTube videos. It's all about the clickbait. The lines are around the block, shoulder to shoulder. Gotta watch out for theft. It's crazy bananas. What's the point of a VIP pass if I'm waiting? Burgers are $20. I forgot to pack my comfortable shoes. What are we gonna do? And all I could think about was, I wish I was there.
Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. Yeah, and the funny thing is it's like when you go, I'm not like, I mean, I love seeing when they're showing the tables and seeing stuff you don't see. But man, it's like when they're filming something and then they say, hey, and look who it is. That's what I miss. I miss looking at the cool stuff and then bumping into, like you. You and I bumped into each other one day. We walked around for what, 20, 30 minutes just chilling and talking. And then we split off and bump into somebody else. That's what I miss. Because to be honest, that doesn't happen in my hometown. I'm not in Walmart and all of a sudden I bump into, George Diamond Yard Studios or something. It just doesn't happen. So that's what I'm missing the most is those people.
And the beauty about YouTube is, even though that was our first time meeting last year, we chopped it up like, like our text message. I gave you a big old bro hug.
Yeah, man.
How things going, and then we just went right into it like it was no issues. And then all the drama going on at the National now. The Misfits throw a little get together, a little impromptu, started planning it like a week out, and they end up drinking with Hall of Famer Emmett Smith. Only at a Misfit party can you get a Hall of Famer. They're sending pictures. Look at this cat, late to the party, man. Golly. And then Baseball Collector, he's been doing it for a decade, and his stuff gets canceled. But it turned out to be a nice little picnic on the lawn. Oh, hey, breaking news. I got a celebrity backstage. Breaking freaking news. We're going to get an exclusive. Oh, wait. Oh, yep, we got so. Yeah, okay. I'll patch him through. We got. Oh, man, Janie. What's that, Pepino? Hey, get the
What's going on, everybody? Live from the National. You guys totally missed out on the first annual Oswald Grassy Knoll pizza party.
The picnic, the YouTube picnic.
Yeah.
Oh man, missing you guys.
We're actually waiting on something big right now. We're at a bar and the first baseball card ever on earth is supposed to be coming down the stairs right now.
What do you mean? First baseball card? What do you mean? What are we talking about?
Yeah, the first baseball card ever.
What is that, Rick?
It's loud in here. But
don't give it away, Rick.
Let them know. They're asking.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise. Well, you got to talk about it. We can't have dead air.
Yeah,
it's equivalent for card collectors. It's equivalent to the Declaration of Independence to history fans.
What?
History fans.
So that's right. It sounds big.
Well, I know you got cards on you. You ain't got no cards to show. in your sports coat?
Dude, sports cards are banned.
Hey, hi, lady. How you doing? She knows she live. Get me an old fashioned.
I'm going to take the grilled chicken sandwich. We were hanging out with Bennett Smith the other night here. Can I
I know.
have that French onion soup?
Hayton. How do I get
And I think the
that?
grilled chicken sandwich also.
What do you like? Fries? What's that?
All right, let them order. All right, Dami.
Now I'm missing out and I'm hungry. What in the world?
I know. I know. She doesn't even know she was live. All right, I'll put them backstage. Let them figure out. put on my tab. I know we were watching Rick. They're trying to. It's hard for them to hear. So Dom, what you got, my friend? Recovering national addict. I know. I don't know if you heard us, but we were just talking about how, we were good. Then we start seeing the videos, the day zeros, the day ones, day two recaps. I even started watching when I ran out of stuff. I started watching the big influencers like Mojo just to get more. Jeff Wilson.
There's not enough national videos for you, Lou.
Oh, bro, I swear to you,
my feed is full. Like I'm way behind already.
Bro, I promise you. Like last night, instead of watching, I was going to watch a movie or something like that. I think Adam Sandler's new movie. Oh my gosh, Happy Gilmore 2. Instead of doing that, I just started watching videos and just watching them. And I think I stayed up to like 1:00 just watching national videos. That's how bad I'm missing it.
We get used to it because it's gonna be another month of it too. Because then everyone's got their pickup and my
can't
thoughts
take
and
a
all
joke.
that stuff. So
Yeah, well, that's my favorites. Everyone's just doing recap videos for the most part. Mike, Baseball Collector, did a little, quick explanation of what really happened. And I kind of figured out what happened because when Rick, checked into his hotel, one of his biggest things he always says, like, oh man, this is trade night at the hotel at Lowe's every time we're there. And the first thing he saw next to the desk was there would be no collectors trading, selling. They have designated nights for that. And I mean, it was official management type. It wasn't like someone hand wrote down on a sticky tab. So I could see how. Hey, my boy Mookie. How you doing, my friend? Strongsville. I'm going to hit Strongsville. I already gave the wife the dates. We're going to start looking at flights. So 2026, Lou Rock will be in Strongsville. So I'm excited about that.
that's awesome. I already got my hotel book, so I'm good.
You had the Best Western.
Yep, at this point. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, no doubt. And I know it's not the national, but it might as well be. I mean, all the stuff we're missing this week,
Yeah.
not just the cards, but the people and the hanging out and the chilling. Just that's what I saw in Strongsville too. So I mean, I'm not, I don't pick up tons of stuff. My budget isn't massive, so I'm not looking for, 5-figure cards and all this other. So I'm good, but it's gonna be good, no doubt. But yeah, it's weird because last year was the first time I ever went to the national, so I'd been through all the videos and stuff before, and I was like, well, that's kind of cool and that's kind of neat. That'd be kind of fun, but I really didn't know. I'd talk to people, Dom, you, and Jake, whatever, who have been, but I really didn't get it until I was there. The first thing that I didn't is how big it really is. You know what I mean? This last year, I bet I still didn't see 25% of the tables, whether I had an interest in them or not. I just couldn't get around to all of it. You end up back at the tables, are going to be good, and you keep looking through that. And so I don't know, but it was good stuff, no doubt. So
I'm just reading the chat, making sure I'm showing love to everybody. Ruben, I thought Ruben maybe he's at the national. I thought he was at the national. But yeah, you going to Strongsville next year, Dom?
So I was gonna start doing every other national because it really is, especially in Chicago, built for it in terms of the hotels and everything being close by, and and all that stuff. But the more I do the math about it, Strongsville is becoming a real alternative. So I'm weighing both options. I won't be in both, but I'm gonna be in one of the two. And it's like Drew said, it's for the stuff outside of the cardboard. It's for the community time, the hangouts, and all those aspects. When I go to the National, I would only go for 3 or 4 days anyway. So Strongsville being a 3-day show is right in that window.
I think that's what's the National for next year is not out of the question for me. However, Strongsville is 100% because it is max 3 days. It's on a weekend. I could, get quick flight there, quick flight back. Easier to coordinate with family stuff, and it's just a lot easier to plan. And it seems like you get more quality time with the tubers and the friends, opposed to the National, where it's like, walk the show. The get together is great, but you want to meet everybody, and these get-togethers have gotten so big. I swear to you, I think there was at least 200 people at the VFW, or was it VFW last year?
It was an American Legion Hall.
Yeah.
It was close to 200 people probably throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, I think so.
And I felt bad.
They need to just have the yearly picnic now and go with that. So
I mean, outdoors, there's no fire code or capacity issues. So if it's a lawn, it's a lawn. But it's good that they found a way to get together regardless of what was going on with the hotel there.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to come up now that we know what to expect from here on out. And I know what the National is doing. The dealers, they're like, if you're going to spend money, go to a trade night. We want you at the National, all these pop-up trade shows. I get that. But like the get-togethers have gotten so big, I felt like I was speed dating because I wanted to meet everybody. Yeah. I was at table. Oh, I get a drink, bring a drink, and then I'm trying to talk to someone else, but I was feeling bad because I felt like I wasn't doing 100% on my conversation because I'm like here. Yeah. So I think Strongsville will be a little bit more of like an intimate setting. What's my boy saying? To get together is easy to talk to people. Lodging, food is cheaper, and the restaurants aren't as crowded as Strongsville. Yeah, because Strongsville is like the only show in town. It's like the only thing going on. So I can see that.
I mean, to me, like the National, as much as I miss it and would love to do it again, it wasn't perfect. There were still frustrating things. I don't dwell on that. But to me, it was like the things that I didn't like about the National is not in Strongsville. And the things that I loved about the National are in Strongsville. You got good cardboard. You got good people. You got opportunity to meet people and talk and hang out. All that is in Strongsville, but it's not as expensive. It's not overwhelming, like you said, where you're going to have so many people you can't see everybody. I mean, the thing about the National was there was one point last year, I think there was 6 or 7 hours on Thursday. I walked the floor. I didn't see anybody I knew. I mean, I was still looking at cardboard, but it's not like what they say in the Strongsville, where you walk in and all of a sudden it's like, hey, here's so-and-so, or right across the way is somebody, that sounds cool to me, where you can just bump and all the way around and there's always somebody,
You can look across the hockey rink and see someone, or, if you need advice or information, you can find someone real quick.
Exactly.
National. I mean, there was a couple of times I was walking with a buddy, especially like Mangini. I remember specifically John. Me and John were like, we weren't tapped out, but we were pretty much, we weren't really looking too much because we already spent our money. And we're walking, and I did, hey bro, look at this. And I turned and I didn't see it for the next 2 hours. We could not find each other. We probably danced a little bit and then we just took opposite directions and we met up at James' table. James was like, when you're lost, go to the safe space.
It was like base. Yeah. Like that's what would happen. Let's just go up to James' table. It was a good location for it too, though, but still.
Ooh, I didn't know Thurman was buried over there. That'd be kind of cool to go check out. So we've been to a couple of Nationals ourselves. Any fun stories you want to reminisce about? Anything? I'm sure we've all told our stories before, but anything that in the spirit of the National, anything you want to share?
Yeah,
I've
I mean,
got. Go ahead, Gal. You go first because I've got some stories about you, and I know I'm hoping at least you've got one about me. So
well,
we'll
yeah,
go. We'll let you start.
I was gonna say when you say national, and I think of Drew, let alone Drew being on the screen with me, it immediately makes me think because me, him, Sammy, and Jake were driving around all of Cleveland and the greater beyond last year. Uh, I told them going in that there was a card that was on my mind, and none of them knew what I was talking about. So I pulled up a picture of this card before we walked into the show, and kind of just gave them an idea of, it's not a super high pop card, but it's something that you might run into being a Reds team issue here in Ohio. And I'm looking all over, asking all the dealers I think might have one. They're just like, nope, or I have one in my personal collection but didn't bring it. All those answers, and then Drew sends me a text and calls me and is like, hey, like you should come over here. I think I found your card. And I scored the 1939 Reds team issue, Ernie Lombardi. The glare is great, but it's got that Burke Ross art style, just with way deeper color, and I just absolutely love it. And the fact that Drew had not heard of or seen the card prior to walking into the National,
Yeah.
and he was the one that found it for me. He later found the other two that were in the building as well that were not priced as well as this one. So that was a really awesome national opportunity. Ended up picking up two great cards from that dealer, and have Drew to thank for it.
I like the national bumper that they give away. That's another thing. I miss all the free giveaways and the swag
Iffy
bag.
$3.99, man.
Well, I say free 99. I mean, you get the VIP, but and you have to be in the building. But yeah, I love those bumpers, and they give you all kinds of great top loaders. Like, I love free, especially spending so much money over there.
Yeah.
What you got, Drew?
Well, I mean, very much along the same lines. Well, I'll tell my Dom story first. So after he found that card, literally he's looking at that table, and I at that point was walking around with Rick Vintage Oddball, and he knew what I was looking for. I went to the National with X amount of dollars to spend on one card, and I had to find it. I had found a couple in the price range that I had, but they just weren't hitting me. You know what I mean? And I'm standing over there talking to Dom about that card he just showed. Two tables down, I hear Drew, Drew, and I look over, and Rick's like, Drew, come here. And I go over, he's like, look, and he shows me this card. And I was like, oh my gosh. And the card was, first of all, it was way higher than I had. I didn't even have that amount of money in my pocket. And I say way higher. It was about $250 more than I even had in my pocket, let alone on this card. It was way more than I wanted to spend. But I was like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And he's like, you got to get it. I said, Rick, man, I can't get it. He's like, Drew, if you don't get it, I'm going to get it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, and so I said to the dealer, I said, look, you got any wiggle room on this? I'm like, I mean, at this point, I could have spent every dollar I had and then spend my food money and then hope I start selling some of those card stands. That's really my only option at that point. And he said, and the dealer's like, I'll tell you the prices. He had $1,250 on it. I had exactly $1,000 in my pocket, and I didn't want to spend it all on this card. But and he's like, look, obviously you're a collector. I'll give it to you for 1,000. I never said that what I had in my pocket, and I was like, that's when I said to Rick, what do you think? He said, if you don't buy it, I'm going to buy it. But that's when I picked up the card that I have showed more in the last 365 days. But that's when I picked up that beautiful, beautiful Ted Williams. And
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold up. I'm reading the chat. There you go.
you're good. And I mean, it's just phenomenal. And so the fact that I was with Rick, who I had just met that morning when we went and picked him up from the airport, I was two tables down from Dom, who's still like jacked up from the card, the Lombardi he just picked up. And I mean, it was that community right there. And like everywhere I went the rest of the weekend, I had this in my pocket. And they're like, "You get anything?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, I did." And I showed it. And so that's my story, my pickup. It was because of other people. So I mean, it was phenomenal. And I did get other stuff, and I got some great stuff. Fortunately, the YouTube community was more than generous in buying those stands from me. I was able to repad my budget and pick up some other stuff. We'll tell those stories in a couple minutes if you want. But the fact that I was drained after a few minutes on that card, but I'm still excited. So
My favorite stories are from AC when the Misfits originated. That's how we came together. A bunch of guys from all over the country just happened to get together for a magical moment, Airbnb style. And that Airbnb, we were in the hood. You guys know AC. It was a diamond in the rough because around us was sketchy. You know, we always walked in groups of two. There's always at least two. And but man, the house was great for where we were at. We had good neighbors, you know, a bachelorette party was going on. They were having fun and doing jello shots and bringing food and drinks over because we were on a pizza bourbon diet. We didn't have our wives. No one could cook like we had in last year at Strongsville. In Cleveland, we had Eric, you know, 4-leaf was giving us 3-course meals. You know, Jason Fisherbike is, you know, he works in a firehouse, so he knows how to cook for a large group of guys. So we ate real good last year, but that first year we ordered pizza, then we ordered pizza again, then we hit like the dang Walgreens or something, pick up like microwavable food. It was so bad. But one of my favorite nights, and that's when I knew I was part of YouTube forever because I was like, man, this community is so good. We were just ripping junk wax. I can't remember what we were ripping. You know, some 80 something junk wax, 88 Donruss maybe, 87 Donruss, something like that. And we just had cardboard everywhere. We're just cracking jokes. So, you know, someone got a Madden lead, threw it to me. I got like a, you know, Jim Rice. I'll throw it to somebody. It was just awesome. But we're showing pickups. We're showing pickups for the day. And my favorite pickup of the day was this $20 purchase. No, 1962 Lou Brock, little Lou Rock, loving Lou Brock. And
Lou Brock.
I mean 20, yeah, little OC, but they need love too. But I mean super cherry, registration wise, corner wise, surface wise. I mean it's just off center. And that thing off center don't bother me. So I'm showing the guys. James is bragging about it to George, like, man, yeah, it's OC, but you got to look at the surface. It is smooth as ice. And we had a couple drinks in us. And so George is like, you care if I take it out? I'm like, no, bro, you want to see the surface? Takes out the top loader. Now we all feeling good, you know, libations, adult drinks. Man, next thing I know, he's like, oh, man, this is great. And, you know, I could react it in two ways. The way I reacted was like, it's just cardboard. At the end of the day, I'm like, bro, he felt so bad. I'm like, bro, we're having a good time. It's really not that bad. Not that bad. If I squint, it's not as bad. And he felt so bad. But it all worked out because I used that guilt and knocked off like, I don't know, $40 on this card when I was buying a card from him. He's like, he was stuck on a number. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll pay it, bro. He's like, forget it. The Lou Brock is bothering me. He gave it to me for a better deal. So I love George. I love the guys. And at the end of the day, it's a memory I would never forget. Lou Brock made it almost unharmed, but he still looks good. And it's just one of those things. I mean, so many memories from AC and last year. It's just, like I said, cherish those memories, but I wasn't really thinking about it. But seeing all these videos, and I'm seeing a lot of stuff at the card show, which is great. But man, I really wanted to see stuff at the hangouts. You know, the first night on Wednesday with the Misfits and Emmett Smith. Yesterday, I know they were bouncing around. Mike O did a little something, saying, you know, I thought it was clickbait. YouTube get together canceled. I'm like, what's this? And it was really canceled. and then they did a little something afterward. But those are my favorites, when, everyone's getting together, just walking through. I know Orlando did a little live stream, but it was tough because it's a live stream and everyone's there using the Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi wasn't the best, but, Lou Brock. I remember when I first came on, people thought I was like a Lou Brock super collector because my name was Lou Rock, but I had to explain to them Lou Rock was just a military nickname when I was in the Army. What's going on? Someone could take the floor. I know I'm like Dylan. I could talk. What we got going on?
Well, I'll tell another story that started again with Don. Dom, I keep saying Don. So at that point, you had your big card. I had my big card. We're feeling good, but there's still a card show going on. So we're just walking and talking. And this is the first time Dom and I had ever met in person. And we're just hanging out and looking at cards. And we're just strolling along and kind of glancing in a case. And he randomly says, "Oh, look, they got those Coke tips." And I was like, "What's a Coke tip?" I had never heard of the set, never seen the card. It's not like I had seen it, I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. And he says, "Hey, can I see those? And how many do you have? Two or three?" They were ungraded. I know there was a Reese, there was a Gil Hodges and somebody else, I can't remember. And the guy wanted something for him, and Dom's like, that's a little much, and plus you weren't looking for it. We put him back, and I'm like, "What is that?" So we keep walking. Dom's explaining this to me. He's like, "Oh, this is a set, da da da," and I'm like, "Oh man," but I didn't have the money. I just spent all my money on that Ted Williams, but it was in the back of my brain. So the next day, or I don't know, a day or two later, I mean, it's really hit me, and now I've actually got some funds back up because I'd sold some of them stands. And I'm like, I'm gonna go see if I can find that card. Well, that's when I was with you, actually, Lou. That's what we were looking for, was that table to find that card. Finally found the table, and I asked the guy, I said, "Do you still have them?" He's like, "Man, as soon as you and your buddy left the other night, somebody bought all three, paid full price." And I was like, "Oh, I'll pick one up." Well, then after I left Cleveland, I found out you don't just go pick that card up. They are not out there. They are so scarce, at least in the world I live in.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, why didn't I get that? And it started eating away at me. And I started looking. There's none out there. There was like the one PSA 7 for $8,000 or something on eBay, but that doesn't count. I'm like, "Oh, I'm never gonna find this card." I don't know how many months did we look for that card, and then finally, I don't know, it was about March or April. I get a text from Sammy Thunder. He's like, "Drew, guess what? Guess what just hit Heritage?" And sure enough, they had a raw Pee Wee Reese up there. And I'm like, I don't care what this goes for. Unless I'm broke, I'm going for it. And anyway, it all started because of that walk around with Dom and me showing me the card. But it took 8 months, but I picked it up. And so this is not a national purchase, but if it wasn't for the national, I wouldn't have this. This is absolutely the most difficult card I've ever had to find, but the best card, and it's a beauty. I absolutely love
She's a
it.
beaut. She's a
It
beaut.
is. It's a beaut.
It's a great card.
But
Better than the 53.
okay, we're not. I don't. Dom, man.
You
But
are so
anyway,
correct. Overrated. Way better than 53.
I never liked the 53 tops, but that's fine. Anyway,
What you got, Dom?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had Rick the Flipper on my shoulder during that, because I would have bought it and then I would have flipped it to Drew for a nice profit.
yeah, no
But
doubt.
that didn't end up happening. Cards get away all the time. Speaking of the last time I was in Chicago, there was a card that I looked at, and I was feeling okay about the price, but I don't know pre-war as well as I know post-war stuff. And then I go to the lobby to take a break, and I run into Mangini, and I tell him about the card and the price, and he's like, "That's a fantastic price." He's like, "You should go buy that." So
You start sprinting.
yeah, I was like, within 20 minutes, I was back at the booth. There was a guy making a deal for other cards in this stack of 1933 War cigars, but thankfully he didn't want the one that I wanted. But I ended up scoring the Lefty Gomez, which is just an awesome image.
Sick.
Flicking it. And almost every card in this set from 1933 War cigar is a single-digit pop PSA. They had to mail the cigar bands out, and then they would send you one of these premium players in it. So they're really, really tough. And I got even a better deal because the guy in front of me just bought a lot of them for a good percentage. So the guy was already happy with what he did with the stack. He probably bought them all as one collection, and he even came down a little bit on the price that John said was fantastic. So I was really happy to score this, and this one didn't get away. I was able to go back to the table in time to save it.
That's great. I didn't know that story. That's
So my boy Crosby has said, never been to the National. It is so packed you can't look at the cases like local card shows. Well, I saw that second floor. That second floor looks pretty spacious, and some people said there's fire up there. But this is what I would say to someone who's never been. Yes, it is crowded. It's like when you go to Disney. You're going to expect long lines. That's why I always laugh at people who are complaining. I'm like, you're going to Disney, bro. You're going to wait in line. Food is going to be expensive. But you're there for the magic. It's the happiest place on earth. That's what the National is. It's the happiest place on earth. You're with your buddies. You're cracking jokes. Yes, the cardboard is great, but I mean, you're gonna get to a case. You're gonna see these showcases eventually. You might not see it when you want to see it, but you'll get to it. You're gonna see more cardboard. John, every National says, "I'm tired of looking at baseball cards," because his saying is, "I love looking at baseball cards," or "I'm gonna look at baseball cards." I always catch them. I'm like, "You're gonna say it?" Oh, I can't believe I'm saying it. I'm tired of looking at baseball cards because you're just immersed in cardboard, and it's fabulous. It's great. So it's just one of those things. Yeah, if you haven't been, you got to at least do it once. It's just one of those things because it's not just that. It's like an energy. It's like you go to a normal baseball game, and that's cool. That's great. But when you go to a playoff game, sitting in the same seats, even in the nosebleeds, there's just an energy. There's a vibe. There's a buzz. It's just the energy is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. So I would do the National at least one time. If you're a collector, I recommend it. If you have a bad experience, I'm sorry. But at least you can say at least done it once.
the thing about the National is you can do it in so many different ways. You don't have to go for 5 days. You don't have to go, I don't know, like he's saying, it's more crowded than a local card show. The difference to me is when you go to a local card show, you run out of cases eventually to look into. You never run out of cases. If this one's crowded, guess what? There's 300 other ones in the same row. Walk down until you find a case that's not crowded and start looking. And I'm not coming down on him for a statement. I'm just saying there is so much there. And even if you're like, I don't know, to me, if you go in saying, well, I got to get this and I got to get that, then you may be disappointed because cards are expensive, whatever. But man, if you go in with an open mind and just say, it'd be cool if I could find this. It's the stuff like, and I'm going to ask both you guys, is there something, because both of you have been to multiple Nationals, I've only been to one. Is there something that you got from the National that's sort of a prized item that you have, whether it's a card or something else, that you didn't know you wanted until you saw it at the National? So that's what so I'm going to talk about a piece of mine. It's not a card. It's the last thing I bought last year, but I didn't know I wanted this thing until I saw this thing. Go ahead, Dom, if you need to go pick up what you're going to do. But when I saw this thing, this is a cast iron bank that actually works. I got to find the lever because I know it actually works, man. I mean, like you put a coin in there and then he flips it in and the catcher catches it and all this stuff. That is right up my alley. Now, you guys watching, you may not want this, but I didn't know I didn't go to Cleveland hoping to find a 19 whatever 50s, 16s, 40s. I don't know what year this was. Cast iron bank. I went, but when I saw this, I was like, this is for me. This is perfect in my collection. It sits right behind me when I do my videos. This is why the National is better than local card shows. You might find something like this, but I like your analogy, Lou, where you say you can go to a lot of baseball games, but when you go to a postseason game, it's the same game, but it's not the same game. You know what I mean? So I like the way you put that.
Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Not just a hat rack sometimes. Not just a hat rack.
when there's a Yankees hat up there, it might just be a hat rack. But besides the point.
I got
the Clemente hat's fine. No, exactly. And the reason why you can get around so much easier at a local card show is because unless you're in like this magical land, it is just flat out not as good in terms of the quality and the quantity of that quality. It is just, it's a bunch of regional shows in one giant arena. And like the Coke tips he showed, the War cigar that I showed, you're seeing things that there's only so many in the world, and you have the ability to look at them and buy them in person. And there is some value to that. But there will be things that are total squirrel items that you didn't expect to be picking up. I saw in a showcase a Redman ad for a Jake who may or may not be joining us, TBD. He was not at the Chicago National, and he's a big Redman fan, been wanting one of those original posters for a long time. I found an advertising pamphlet, and it seemed reasonably priced. I snapped him a picture, and he was like, buy it. He's like, get it for the best price you can get it, buy it. And I was like, what am I going to bundle with this? Because bundling is always the best way to get some price knocked off. The whole never pay sticker.
Best way to negotiate. Best way to
exactly. And I didn't know I wanted this, but Nelly Fox is known for always having chaw in his mouth, chewing tobacco. And I got a early 60s favorite chewing tobacco pouch with Nelly Fox on it, Mr. Chewing Tobacco at the top. And this has the tobacco still in it. It reeks. A bunch of other players on the back, including Louis Aparicio and Bill Mazeroski.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty dope.
It's a fantastic piece, and you can't find these on the regular market. Not that a lot of people want this, but it is just absolutely amazing and something that only pops up in an auction house every once in a while. So these are the kind of things you run into at the National that aren't going to be at your typical local show. And there's going to be stuff like this in every corner as opposed to one guy that comes in with the museum quality stuff.
And your girl looked at you like you're crazy. She's like, why you so excited about that? Babe, did you not hear the story?
The context is always king, man. You got to be able to tell the story good, and then you get by with it. But yeah, like that's a piece that I did not plan on getting ever in my collection. I didn't even know it existed. And I read up a tiny bit about it, went up to the dealer and got a deal for me and my buddy. So it was a really awesome, side quest at the Chicago National last time.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I think it was Rudog. He was saying it's like walking to, in some portions of the National, it is like walking to a museum. You might see Babe Ruth's bat. You'll see Lou Gehrig's jersey because, all these auction houses have everything on display. And it's just phenomenal stuff, just stunning. And just you get to walk and see history, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Lou, you just said Babe Ruth's bat. I don't know what they're doing this year because I'm not going, so I didn't look it up. But the last 2 years, memory lane auctions for the entire week of the National, last year they let you see and hold and take pictures with an actual T206 Wagner.
I missed out.
And in Chicago, they let you hold a Babe Ruth game-used bat that was also autographed.
So sick, dude.
During the week for free. You just had to wait in line at their table during certain hours of the day. They did it every single day.
Yeah, I think that's how I found out. I just missed out. I saw you or a picture or something. I was like, what?
It's just like those are things that you can't do at your local card show where you're paying $1 for admission. Like it's the sad truth of it. Not that there's anything wrong with those card shows. I've had great pickups and memories from local card shows, but the National, it's not even a playoff game. It's our World Series. It's the World Baseball Classic. It is the mecca in our hobby.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's another point is you get to see stuff that you can't buy. And I think that's fine. Mm-hmm. There are,
because we appreciate it.
There's thousands of actual museums of all types all over the world that people don't walk in hoping they pick up a Picasso. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You go in because you're admiring it for what it is, for its history or whatever. It's just you're doing it on a collectible scale. So I'm never going to own a Babe Ruth bat or a Lou Gehrig jersey, but I sure wouldn't mind seeing one like right next to me. You know what I mean? Because there's just something different about it. So again, those are not crowded. So if it's super crowded around all the tables, make your way back to the back or wherever all the auction houses are, or all the artists are, because they had that one side on the far side up in Cleveland where it had all the artists that had their own artwork displayed about what
Yeah, gallery.
that stuff was phenomenal. I'm not going to buy a Greg Kreindler piece as much as I would love to, but man, it was really cool seeing him and seeing his stuff in person. So that's the experience that you get. That's the magic that you were talking about, Lou, is just to be able to go observe and watch and look at all this stuff without thinking, well, I'll never pick up that, so I'm not going to bother. If that's true, then you would never look at a 52 mantle, because more than likely none of us are ever going to pick one up, but you always stop and look when you see one in a case. Well, to see his jersey is even better than seeing a 52 tops.
If you think
So,
seeing a 52 mantle is cool, how about seeing a case with like 10 of them? It's like,
yeah.
oh, I know they're not rare, but you're still like, or like 86 Fleer Michael Jordan, 20 of them in a row. It's like that's why you go.
All the iconic cards are there in surplus. People have their choice, their pick of the litter with that stuff. And I've said it for years, Drew. I look at it as half card show admission fee and half museum fee because of that exact reason.
Yeah.
I have a $500 firewall, which in this hobby is nothing. There's guys spending tens of thousands of dollars a day at the National. There's real money moving in that room. And it doesn't matter. I'm there observing it as a person that enjoys the history of the game and the history of the cardboard. And then I'm also picking up some stuff with my friends that is in my price range. So it's a lot of fun.
Go ahead, Lou.
Honestly, hearing how we're like, oh, there's no negative. I've only had one negative experience at the National, and it was my first National. I tried to do everything the right way. I had a list. I was writing down aisle numbers. This is what I found because I was looking for a 49 Campy. I had my list. I had to find that 49 Bowman. And for 2 days, I didn't buy a single card because if I bought something else, I might not get the Campy. And I was getting to the point where I was frustrated. I was getting frustrated at the happiest place on earth because I couldn't find the card in my budget, right eye appeal, right afford appeal. I couldn't find it. And for 2 days, I didn't buy a single card. I went to the value boxes because I didn't want to spend too much money. And by day 3, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy what fancies my eye. And I started buying this was my first purchase after I gave up on the Campy. Nice little killer rookie card. And got a phenomenal deal because that was another thing. I'm passing up on all these deals because of the Campy. And though I went back because I had my list, I'm like, oh, I owe this such and such. And you go back and it's gone because it was a good deal. So people aren't going to, when you see it, buy it. And I learned a valuable lesson.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I like. When I see it, I'm going to buy it. I don't need a list telling me I need to get this card. Oh, this is my number one target. The only people that need lists, honestly, are set collectors. You need a list for obvious reasons. Take a list for that. But me, man, I'm into so much stuff. I love Clemente. I love Hall of Fame rookie cards. I love Hall of Fame autographs. I love Yankee stuff. Like, there's plenty of stuff. And the thing is, honestly, when you see it is the best time to buy it because you already said a couple stories here, guys, where you walked away and when you realized it, you thought it was too late. And, luckily for Dom, it was still there. Drew missed out, but he found one later. It's just one of those things. I learned my lesson after my first National. Have an open mind. You know what you like. And when you see it, you're going to pick it up. I mean, you don't need a list unless you're a set collector.
I think, though, another thing, this is swaying into the positives of it, because there's so many people. Now, if you're part of this YouTube community, and it's not just I make videos or I comment, there's lots of people who just watch and you don't know anybody. But the truth is, if there's somebody that comes up to me and they recognize me, but they've never made a video or a comment, and they pick something up and they're happy to show me, which did happen, I'm just as excited for them, you know what I mean, as anybody is for me. That's one of the things that I'm not surprised at, but it was like the icing on the cake. I'm not going to spend $15,000 on anything, but I know somebody who did, and man, I was excited. But you know what? He was just as excited for somebody who picked up a $15 card. You know what I mean? So it's that shared camaraderie between all of us that are just nerdy cardboard collectors loving the fact that, I mean, I'm not like there are cards you've gotten in this last year, Lou, that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'd love to have that card. But am I jealous?
Mm-hmm.
Heck no, I'm happy for you. I'm ecstatic for you. I'm glad, you know what I mean? Just as much as you're glad if, you don't probably ever want a Coke tips, but you were happy when I picked one up because you knew how bad I wanted one. And that's that feeling is so much fun. I see Lou and the other Lou, Godlike Collectibles, in the chat there, and he talked about that Johnny Mize. The second I met him, I'd never talked to him except through comments, and he was over at the Misfits house. Man, same thing. Big hug, nice to meet you, whatever. He's like, Drew, check out what I picked up, and he picked out a beautiful card. I was so happy for him, and I had met him literally 10 seconds earlier, and since then he and I have chatted. We've talked on. I don't know if we've talked about. We texted a lot. I know that, and we become friends. Over cardboard and that shared joy for other people picking things up. That is the stuff that you can't describe, but when it happens, it's phenomenal.
Okay, guys, I'm about to patch in a VIP, the commissioner of the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame, aka Ticket Leprechaun. Legends never die, but as I like to refer to him, the commish. Oh man, I'm the only one clap. Oh dang, Jake. Maybe we should. You know what? If you're gonna bring down the ratings, we just lost 4 viewers.
My Donnie live stream. See you later.
2 of them are because his boys went to bed. That's why.
Yeah.
True. What's
What's
up,
up, buddy?
You want to guess what we're talking about?
Missing out on the national
Is that
Or-
that part of it?
or Strongsville to the moon?
Well, we haven't gotten to that level yet, but it has come up around about. So
Strongsville came up in like the first 3 minutes that I was on. Like, you guys did not wait.
Lou Rock 2026, Strongsville, baby. I'm there.
You're running for mayor against Chris?
I don't want to lose.
you'd be sheriff. Be
Well, I'll
sheriff
be
of Strongsville.
I'll be
Yeah,
sheriff.
man.
I'll pull security.
That's true. So what have we been talking about? I missed the first 25, 30 minutes, however long y'all have been on, putting the boys to
So,
sleep.
We're talking about the national and our experiences. We talked about
Stories.
Yeah, they're just stories, good stuff, or whatever. Just showing some stuff that we picked up. We're just talking about sort of some of the reasons why the national is worth it. You know what I mean? If you've never gone, you need to go at least once. Even though it's expensive, even though it's crowded, and that's kind of where we sort of in that route. But
This was the comment that started it from our boy Crosby. Never been to the national. It's so packed you can't look at the cases like local car shows, which is true. But yeah, we went into that one a little bit. It's like a show like no other. That's why you go.
I mean, if nothing else, just to see like the things that are in that room all at one time, like that is unmatched. That in itself is fun. And I'm sure you guys talked about all the cool stuff about seeing everybody and hanging out and the quality time that we get to spend. I mean, that really is pretty special. I mean, Dom definitely doesn't come to any of my local shows, no matter how hard I try. So, what do you do?
How far of a drive is it, Dom? I know you guys Googled mapped
I
it.
have to hop on a plane, dude. Like that's not a drive. But yeah, we originally were gonna have me, instead of going to the national last year, fly in to hang out. But they were all going to the national anyway, so it ended up being a win-win.
I'm sure it's gonna be on Shot Sports.
Solo Shot Sports, man, there's going to be a lot of praising for the teams that did well this deadline, and a lot of Red Sox yelling for sure. So stay tuned.
Oh, yeah, we'll leave a link in the description below.
If we're going to talk about baseball season, I'll have to go like this. And
yeah, dude.
Yes,
I'm
right.
wearing this because the Nationals in Chicago, but the Cubs are doing pretty good too.
Cubs are doing well.
You know what? Let's talk about this national. Some impending news. I'm super excited. And, I was talking to my boy Sticks and Seams, Mike, the 40th Mike in YouTube, but Sticks and Seams. and we were just chopping it up, talking about how, man, Detroit, Atlanta, Detroit. What could it be? And he
It's gonna
made
be
it
Detroit.
very interesting. You said Detroit, and I was leaning towards that way too because all the curmudgeons, all the old school, keep it in that type of northeast, northernly. But I mean, Mike brought a good point up, and now I have hope for Atlanta. You know, they got a big show in Culture Collision. Um, it's easy to travel to because Atlanta is a big thoroughfare. But one of the biggest influencers, maybe the face of YouTube hobby wise, who's got his hands in everything, he's doing a collab with PSA. Jeff with a G, Jeff Wilson has Cards HQ. There's a MLB team in Atlanta. Maybe he has some influence there where he could.
Lou,
Get,
you know Atlanta was a finalist for the 2027 one with Chicago and Atlantic City.
Yeah.
And it was a distant third back
yeah,
then.
but I think
They want to keep it centrally located so everyone can fly
I think
in and
things
load
have
in and load
changed.
out.
The landscape has changed. I think it has changed a lot. I mean, PSA. I'm telling you, they're doing collaborations with Jeff. There's nothing in Detroit except the Tigers. I mean,
Yeah, there's a major league ballpark and it's centrally located. Like they have the
I don't
convention
know,
centers, the airports, the hotels.
When under the current format, I mean, the dealers decide anyways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The hobbyists don't get to vote, unfortunately.
Yeah, if it was a fan
I know.
vote, it would be in LA or New York City every single year.
Yeah.
I don't know. LA. I think that'd be a tough trip for a lot of people. That's why a lot of West Coasters. Well, I heard. I think next year isn't the West Coast going to compete against the National? Like, there's going to be a big show on the West Coast. Same week.
Burbank's been building a bigger regional show out
Mhm.
there, but I don't know if they have anything that comes close to the national.
No, but I think just something the same week as the National. I think they got something going on. I got to get with George and Levon. I think they were free.
I could be wrong, but I thought it was like called the like front row shows or something out there that was also growing on the West Coast. I don't know that for a fact. I heard someone West Coast talking about it.
Oh, really? Hammer 44. A favorite of mine. Love Hammer 44. Just getting back from the National. Vintage prices were inflated. You didn't miss anything except for the friendships. Of the last 3 I've attended, this was the least interesting. Interesting comment.
I'll say this without saying too much. I had a very similar comment from another friend who's there, saying that this one just had a different vibe to it. Seemed a lot more grouchy, and I don't know if that's just who he was around or in general, but this person is typically very positive. So I thought that was an interesting statement, and has been to multiple nationals. So I don't know. I mean, I can't judge it. I wasn't there, but I don't know. Going back to your stuff, all I heard is maybe Atlanta, and then something about some other city. But I'm rooting Atlanta big time.
Yeah.
And if Mike needs
You
a
don't want to
place
go to
be-
Motown, dude?
No, I don't. I have zero.
I want
interest.
Atlanta.
Walk the streets?
No.
No, none of that.
You don't want to go there?
No.
I've done that
We
in an
can
Abraham Lincoln outfit.
we can do the YouTube hangout at my house because although I'm a little far away, but still, I don't charge that much, and I won't kick you out. So
Yeah,
We'll
I
do a
want
picnic in your backyard.
Atlanta. Easy drive. Sure, easy flight. The guys want to drive. I'd rather fly. Little hour and a half flight.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if it's not Detroit.
I just want something different.
Like back to that comment for a second about prices being high at the National. There are high card prices at every show ever, everywhere.
Car show prices.
You've got a part of what makes it fun, at least to me. You've got to hunt for the deals, right?
Yeah.
If it was like shooting fish in a barrel and, just stop at every table and there's a fantastic steal of a deal at every table, it wouldn't be as fun.
Yeah.
Not to mention that's just not realistic. I don't know why people have an expectation of, it's the National, so there's going to be great deals. Like that makes no sense.
Now you got to find them.
The people that know the most in the whole world are probably the people setting up at the National about what they got and what it should be priced at. Can you find deals? Yes.
Mhm.
But is every single table in a room of thousands and thousands of tables going to be a great deal? No, but neither is your local show. So I always feel like people that jump to that conclusion kind of went into it with unrealistic expectations, or they just lean less optimistic than I do.
It's a
No.
numbers game, man.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And the more cards in the room, the more the numbers are in your favor to
Yeah.
find those deals. Now, if we were talking about lists earlier, the first year I went to a national, I had a list too, and I didn't get the number one thing on my list, and I felt kind of disappointed. But I was zeroed in on a handful of cards and the price of those cards in that room, as opposed to just being advantageous for everything I like to collect. So it depends on also what you're looking at, because maybe for vintage prices, you had like 3 or 4 gold cards, and those cards you weren't able to get a deal on them. But another card that would have fit perfectly in your collection was actually a really good deal that you either saved the money to get the card you wanted to, or vice versa. I don't know if that's what happened with Hammer specifically, but I know people can get kind of take locked on, I have to leave the show with this card
Yeah.
as well, and I want to pay this price for it. That's not always going to happen.
Well, I think, and okay, so last year when I was waiting to go into the first day, Hammer came up to me. I didn't know who he was except for his name, and man, we talked, and he had a gift for me. It was super cool, and we got when I walked into the National for the first time, I walked in with him. I'm talking to him, getting to know him because again, I didn't know him personally, and I know he had a huge monster, what all of us would consider a monster card on his list. Right after I picked up this Ted Williams, he texted me and he's like, "Drew, I found it," and he comes over, and I'm not putting him down at all, okay, because it was a huge card and I was super happy for him. But when you do find that one big thing you're looking for almost right away, the rest is gravy. I mean, it's just gold. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter what happens. If you spend the entire time, like you were talking about, Lou, looking for something and never finding it, it can get daunting and frustrating. Now, I don't know what he was looking for this year. I don't know if he found something. I don't know. I'm just saying it's a perspective thing. If you can find something that you're super stoked about within the first few hours, that sets the tone for the rest of the show, no matter what you find. But you're right, Jake. You've got to look for those deals. They're not a dealer when you walk in is not going to have the card you're looking for Indian grade and it's half off because they want to get some cash flow going. It just doesn't happen. Usually the deals are in the side cases or behind the tables. That's my experience, at least. Very rarely is it the showcase pieces because those are the big boy cards and they know what those cards are worth. So I don't know. But I think that's part of the fun is the hunt. You're looking for it and you're finding the deal and you're like, every once in a while you'll come across something that someone didn't quite know what it was. I've heard tons of those stories and good for those people who find them. So
Yeah, sometimes that's part of the story with the Nationals. Like, man, I went from case to case, from table to table, and I finally found it. But honestly, and it's harder now because there's so many, especially with these kids with their Pelican cases, they all want to make it. It's hard to connect with the dealer like you can at a regional show or a local show because when they find out you're a collector, honestly, I think it does change. Like, okay, here's someone that can appreciate the card. Sometimes I get better deals because they know I'm not trying to, I want it at 70% so I can flip it at 90% or something like that. And like Drew said, sometimes I'm like, the showcases are for you to stop and get the eyeballs on his table. But like, if I'm looking for something, I'm like, I don't see anything you want. Or if they ask you, hey, what you looking for? I'm like, I'm interested in so and so, but I don't see anything. Let me check. I got some stuff in the back, or about because they don't got so much table space, but they have, especially at the National, as stuff is selling, they got more inventory to fill up their cases. And honestly, if you only can attend, yes, of course we want you to go to the YouTube get-togethers and everything like that. But the best days are Saturday and Sunday, especially Sunday. These guys do not want to lug all that stuff back. Some of them got to pay table rent. They're hungrier on Saturday and Sunday. They got to pay them bills. They got the hotel, eating at the steakhouse. They got to pay the stuff out. So they're more willing
Yeah.
to, bundle stuff up, cut some prices because they're not lugging it back and they need cash. So,
Yeah, It's interesting you say that, Luke, because I feel like there's that school of thought that if you wait till the end of the show, people are more willing to deal or sell excess or whatever. And
That's
then
bragging.
there's someone like me that wants to be there at the sneak preview night on Wednesday, and I want to get first crack
Yes,
at
first
finding
dibs.
something.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what you're looking for, and how big of a scope you're looking for as well. If you have a million interests, then yeah, you wait, you might get some deals. But if you're looking for specific things or stuff that you don't see every day, then sometimes you need that first crack opportunity before someone else gets to it. But it's really, really interesting with the mindset of the collector, and that's what happens when a show goes that long. Is there's commerce happening every minute in that show, buying, selling, and sometimes I'll go up to the same dealer's table that I know is buying a lot, just to see like, hey, like what did you just buy, and look through boxes that they just bought, get a deal from them, they make a quick flip, and I get something for below what it would be at another table. So just being cognizant of those things is really important too, I think, no matter what day you're at the show.
Honestly, if you're disciplined, which is hard to do at that dang card show at the National, but if you're there day 0 or day 1, and you're one of the lucky ones where you find that dream card and it takes up 70% of your budget, I say, hey, have fun, shop with buddies, this and the other, and then on the last day you got a couple $100. Go to the singles table, go to the value boxes, and then you're coming back with all kinds of stuff. I mean, again, a lot of those boxes will get picked clean, but you'd be surprised the stuff you still find. There's just so much stuff, and you're right. These dealers are constantly buying and refreshing their inventory. You just never know what you're gonna find. So,
well, I saw a couple of videos this week of guys that we know that said, "Well, I went up to so and so's table, and they had just made a deal on a group of cards, and then I picked one out and got it from them." And in that case, a dealer, they're there to make money, and of course they want to maximize their profit. But if they could make $20, $50, $100, like in 1 minute, who's not going to do that? You know what I mean? And of course that's relative to whatever the card is, but still. So that's a great strategy, Dom, is to kind of keep your eye open for the guys who are constantly adding to their inventory because they have to. They're selling so much stuff. And then guys, lots of people buy that beautiful card on Wednesday night, and by Friday they're feeling like, oh, I shouldn't have spent that, and they're going to sell it. They'll sell it at a loss sometimes. You just got to go find those deals. So again, that goes back to what Jake was saying. The deals are there, but you got to hunt for it. If you don't want to hunt, if you just want it easy, go to this website called eBay and look up stuff called Buy It Now. You will find all sorts of stuff. You'll pay out the nose for it, but then you don't have to do any real work. But
honestly, I bought stuff at the National on eBay when I was drinking at the house with the fellas because I was like, man, I was looking for this card, and if I found out the price, it was still part of my budget because at that the wife knows I'm spending all kinds of money. So what? PayPal here, PayPal on eBay. She don't know. She might now because I think she's watching downstairs.
The jig is up, Lou.
Yeah, 25 years together. She knows what's the deal. She knows what's the deal. What we got here, man? The chat is still popping. I love it. My boy Ruben. I can't wait to meet him at the National. Mookie, Pete with a dinger. He's on my fantasy team. Oh yeah, Big Meat Pete. I love Pete Alonso. I hope he stays one of the few guys like Judge, Pete. He's a Met for life. Like it has to be. I just love when a player stays with one team. I know it's hard, and the contract and the money is just. But I love it when a player stays with a team. That's just the old school in me. Oh, a Pete signing tomorrow. Nice.
Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah. There's not too many $3 cards. Even though I'm very excited about this new project. Can't talk about it though. Too many copycats online.
Lou, the more you tease it, when you finally announce it, everyone's gonna copy it. Everyone's gonna be like, "This is
Well, yeah, but that's
like."
When I do it, hopefully I get most of them. They're tough to get. Ruben, was I drinking? Was that the get together? He's like, we met at the national. I'm so bad.
Ruben, see what you have to do after you meet Lou is you have to remind him like 26 times who you are with the face recognition, and then he might remember you.
Oh, I'm so bad.
That's what I had to
That's
do
so
personally.
funny.
We hung out all the time in Atlantic City, and he was just like, who are you? But that kind of stuff happens, man.
Who's this
You must be-
Python following me?
You must be talking about Mangini doesn't know who you are, Dom.
No, man.
Oh, my bad.
No, I was like, I can't wait to meet Ruben. Ruben's like, I met you last year, bro. I'm like, oh, I'm so
Mhm.
bad.
That's so
I like,
funny.
I know it's so funny for like, I remember when I first went to my first national, people would tell me their first names and wouldn't stick. I had to know their handle. Like,
Yeah,
tell me your
exactly.
handle, bro.
It didn't help me at the time, Luke, because my channel was like brand new. So I was telling you a name and a hit channel you did not know. And you're just like, oh, okay.
Bro, you were tough to find for a while. I'm like, who uses a 5?
Look, Lou, you wouldn't have wanted to know Dom from the beginning because I was one of his first like YouTube connections, and he treats me like dirt. So you know.
Oh yeah, dirt.
Don't.
No, I want to go back to like strategy at the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I think that this applies for every show, but especially the national. Like I know for me, when I've went, I have a big list. Everybody knows that. I'm looking for a lot of different things. It's not a narrow focus, so that's one thing that helps from the beginning. But like day one, as soon as I can get in, whether it's day 0, day 1, whatever it is, like it's about speed and efficiency. Like I'm going through, I'm asking about cards. If it's a slam dunk, I buy it. If not, and they don't negotiate, I pass and I keep going, right? I want to see as much as I can before as many other people as I can, kind of like what Dom's getting at. But after that, you know, as I feel like I see a higher and higher percentage of the floor and what I want to look at, then I start digging, then I start grinding, then I start looking through the boxes and asking more questions. And as time goes on, also the late week deals also happen for things that are still there. Like, for example, at this last show, I did what Dom's talking about. I bought a lot of the slam dunk stuff like the first couple days, grinded a little bit in the middle, and then Drew was with me for my last pickup on something that I had asked about like 5 times at that table at different points, and the price kept coming down and kept coming down until finally it was where I bought it. That was my 1958 Topps box, baseball box. But it's a combination of both. Different dealers are different opportunities are different. I think you got to use multiple strategies all at the same show to be the most successful, at least in my opinion.
Well, your opinion carries much weight here on Lou Rock TV. You are the commish.
Thanks, Lou.
These guys don't respect you. You deserve put some respect on his name.
I can't tell if Lou's apologizing for not sending me the email or just being nice.
I forgot. I mean, the thread. I put in a thread. The only one I saw was Dom out the gate. But I got it.
Yeah, he said if you wanted an email, drop the email in this chat. And I was the only one that dropped the email.
Yeah,
He did say that.
So
Sorry, man. Little kids.
Oh,
I gotta blame my sons.
You have to tell me. Bob is my little one now. It's funny. I'm in a different chapter now. I'm the old guy on my block with the kids in college, going to college. Everyone's got like little ones, so enjoy it now because soon. And Drew will know soon you will become an Uber and an ATM. So
I'm already past that.
yeah. So enjoy it while you have it.
Now Luca's starting his first sport in September. He's gonna play soccer where Mama played soccer growing up. So here we go.
oh man.
Here we go.
Is he a mama's boy or is he
No.
a daddy's boy? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So soccer won't last too long. Mom, why are you yelling at me?
Yeah, you ask him and he's like, what sport do you want to play? Sports, Luca? Yeah. What do you want to play? Baseball and basketball. Attaboy.
That's my boy.
Attaboy. You're gonna be left-handed like Dada, right? And he's like, nope, right hand Dada. He swings left-handed, he throws left-handed. So
That's awesome, man.
If he throws upper 90s, man, the lefty will come in handy. but
We'll see.
we'll see.
Mookie, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Well, the thing with lefties, I always think about is switch hitting. I love it.
So Lou, have you I'll ask you first, have you picked up anything during National Week with your FOMO? You've been like, man, I gotta buy something?
Yes, I have.
What'd
I
you
have. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to disclose it yet because
Okay.
there's still a couple I'm trying to. But I did pick up.
It's part of his secret project, Jake.
Yeah, it's part of my secret project.
Secret
It's just
project.
yeah, it's just low numbered stuff, and just like the campy, I say something and then it's not like I have a huge following or anything like that. But talking to my boy Sticks and Seams, you know, we're in the card show and we're driving over there, and he's like, bro, you think about it, you do a live stream, you do a video, and you show these cards that you love, and you talk about it, you speak about it with passion. You're gonna bring awareness to it, or someone's gonna look at me like, man, you're right, that is a cool card. Maybe I should look. Even, you know, if you influence 10 people, like, man, that's a good idea. The first place they're gonna go is eBay. Now you got 10 competitors. And on eBay, 10 people who are interested in a card is a problem.
I mean,
All it takes is 2, Lou.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Get it up.
and if you say it on YouTube, that's where Chris from Missouri gets his ideas. So
Oh man, I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait till the Nationals over so we can focus on 2026 and to watch everyone with their recaps. A lot of people leaving tomorrow. But I'm very interested to see that trade night. Hopefully, for
Yeah, I
collectors.
wonder what that's going to be like compared to
I really hope
compared to what we
stays
saw
warm.
in Strongsville. Because Strongsville, that one, I think almost surprised them how successful it was.
I think it helped them to get this gig.
I
at the
agree.
Nationals.
I completely agree. But
100%.
they were in charge of it in Strongsville. And as we saw last night with the YouTube non-hangout picnic, the National is in charge, whether for collectors or anybody else wants to think so or not. So it makes me curious to see how it goes off. I hope it goes great. I hope everyone has a great time and does what they want and all that stuff. But you've got a very large, very overshadowing entity. It just makes me curious to see how much are they going to stir it up a little bit or let them go. I don't know. It'll be fun or interesting at least to see it. So
Yeah, Theo might not be able to make vintage trades at 3 a.m. like he was planning on, but everything else I think will be good for them.
I don't
It's
know.
definitely going to give them the exposure, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of my strategy for Strongsville. I think the first day I'm just there to hang out, get the lay of the land, but I want to spend my money at trade night. You know,
You got to find the deals before that trade night, Lou. Then it's too late.
no, yes and no, because
What are you selling at the trade night tomorrow? Let me see.
Well, that's the thing. It's like one of my strategies, even at the local car shows. I got a lot of homies at that deal here locally, and one of my favorite things is I love going like James. I went to go see James, first table I could go to, because I'm gonna work the angle of, hey, aren't you my homeboy? I need that homeboy discount, bro, and I got it. And if I'm gonna spend money, I'd rather give it to a buddy, and it's one hand washes the other, and I just can't wait to go to that because I was seeing some of the cards at Strongsville at the trade night. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Bred Jackies galore, 50 Bowmans. I was like, what? So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it'll be I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun, no doubt. Last year at Cleveland, for me, I was so focused on selling those stands because that's how I was getting money for cards. I missed a lot of the YouTube hangout because I was just trying to, push those stupid things. I'm sorry, those amazing high-quality, handmade, boutique type items. Yeah, you got you one. But anyway, in Strongsville, they're having a YouTube hangout, and then a different night will be the trade night. So that's where I'll be trying to sell wood stuff, like whatever I'm making at that point. So that'll be an interesting dynamic difference for me. I'm looking forward to it. So
Wait, I thought when you bought a card, you had to keep it. This changes everything.
uh,
Only if you want to.
What Dom was talking about, you had to buy things before it got to the trade night. You know, they did a preview on For Collectors of who was bringing what. I think I bought something from every person that showed things.
I think you
Yeah,
did.
That was
Big
Jake's
PayPal.
national FOMO.
Oh man, B Roth has some. Oh my gosh, he had so much fire. He had a
He always
whole
does.
slew of 49 Bowman, and that's the thing. Like B Roth is always one of those guys. I made the mistake last year. I couldn't. He wasn't. I don't think he was set up last year. And by the time I found him, I already spent all my money. By the time it was the get together, I spent 80% of my money.
Did you see what he posted that he's picked up from the National on Instagram or Facebook?
I did not. What
He
did he pick up?
posted it just like a couple hours ago.
Oh,
He got a box of vintage stuff, a box, and then he said it wasn't a full set because I texted him, but a partial set of 55 Bowman as well. It had to be 200 of them. And the box, man, he probably had I think it was two-row boxes. I mean, packed of vintage stuff like Hall of Famers and Commons both of 50s and stuff like that.
the thing I always hate hearing from him is like, bro, I'm interested. You selling it? He's like, yeah, I'm selling. But after it comes back from FTC, I'm like, no, no.
That's happened to me many times.
He's like, I gotta send it, bro. It's too good. I'm like, I ain't hating. I understand. But golly, in those 49, like he had a Bob Lemon 3.5. It was right in my wheelhouse. I was like, oh, I really want that one. But yeah, B Roth always has fire, man. But yeah, that's one of those things I cannot wait for Strongsville. I think that was like the nail in the coffin for me to be like, I'm going 3-day show, easy to travel, easy to plan, and the cardboard galore. What's this? Oh, the B Roth Beauties. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out, man.
Good, look like some good stuff.
He's always. I love dealing with B Roth because he's just an honest dude. Like he'll tell you, he's like, oh, just yeah, if you're interested, he'll talk about the card, but any kind of imperfections, he lets you know. That way, there's no confusion. And he's super honest about that stuff. And he's super fair. He's easy to work with. So I'm glad. I'm glad he's he feeds my addiction. He's like, what you need? I got 49 Bowman over here. I got 52 Bowmans over here.
He needs that Mangini jacket.
Yeah, nice little sports coat. Oh,
Hey, heard you were looking to buy some sports cards.
That's a good impression of Sammy doing an impression.
It's like Lou. It's like one of those Russian dolls. It just gets worse. Like when you keep trying to. Oh man.
Oh man, my boy's been in and out, but it's like the Mangini impression is like Harry Carey when Will Ferrell did the imitation of Harry Carey, and then everyone imitated Will Ferrell's imitation of Harry Carey.
Exactly.
It's so good, so classic.
Thanks for kicking Dom off when he was calling me the smaller Russian doll. I appreciate that.
Hey, like I said, gotta respect the commish.
I'm telling you, that's a new nickname, Matrushka. I'm going to use it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, speaking of James, I bought this beauty.
All I see is plastic.
What was that?
All I see is plastic reflecting. I don't know.
Well, I gotta get there first, bro. There we go. That's little Gibby. And like you said, Drew, I wasn't purposely looking for a Gibby, but do I love it? Yeah. And it was one of those, he gave me a great deal. I could not say no. And that was the first table. John Mangini literally is like, you already got a 59 Gibby? What the? It's like, golly. I'm still looking at the second table. I was like, I couldn't wait. When you see it, you know it, and no hesitation.
Well, here's the one. I forgot I had it next to me. Here's the one that I got last year. I wasn't looking for this, but when it fell in, Jake, you want to guess what it is?
It's the CJ.
Yes, it is. And I got that from Rick, sitting in Scott's house, sitting in his dining room. He's flipping through because he brought all them cards to sell. This was the only one that wasn't claimed, and I thought, how could you not claim that? So I didn't. Again, I have the money. I said, I'll get back with you. You know, if I could sell some stuff. Sure enough, as soon as I did, I saw him at the YouTube night. I said, Rick, I'll take it, and he didn't. He didn't. He was holding it back for me just in case. But yeah, you've got to, when you see that thing that hits you in that way that you're like, man, I didn't know I wanted that. Like your Gibson or that.
Yeah, Rick
I
brought
love it. You know what I mean? It just it adds the story. It's gold. It's all gold.
Rick brought some fire. I actually bought this from Rick last year. That's little Connie Mack.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Cornelius McGillicuddy.
Mhm.
Pretty much
It really-
leader in everything when it comes to managing. Most ties, most losses, most wins.
Really, what all of us need to hope for is right before Strongsville or the National, Rick has his eye on some massive card and he needs to thin out his liquidate a little bit.
Rick's the
Yeah.
animal. He's always looking at a Ruth or something. He's always looking at something.
He's the only person I know that's like, let me do my top 20 Babe Ruth playing days cards.
Yeah,
What?
from 23.
What?
Next week will be my 24. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, when he does a top 10 or top 20 Babe Ruth, like, first off, that statement is absurd. And it also means that he has more. He's like, I'm doing a top 20 Babe Ruth. I'm like, so how many do you actually have if you got to do a
Just the
top
top
20?
20. Just the
Yeah.
top 20.
He's gonna do the Al top 100 countdown at some point.
Yeah.
John always makes fun of him. He's like, the only modern cards Rick collect are post-war cards, like 50s and 60s. That's as modern as he gets. And he won't touch a Ruth Leaf. He's like, oh, that's not playing days.
Garbage.
I'm like, talk about dropping the mic, bro.
Oh no, no doubt. No doubt. Yep. Good stuff, man.
Is the phone tab kicking Dom off the stream? I don't know. Dom's got fat fingers. That's what she said. What's going on, bro? Keep on.
Dude, I've been struggling over here tonight.
Gotta pay that Wi-Fi, homie. he's still in the Wi-Fi password from his neighbor. That's how you saving money for baseball cards.
They're all on Netflix right now.
Hey.
He can't see them.
Got to afford Strongsville as a national somehow.
Oh, fellas, you got any more stories? Any wisdom? Anything you want to say before we get off? We've been on almost 90 minutes.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I mean, I could tell stories forever. I'll tell one more because this was another one of those. One of the greatest things about if you have the opportunity is when you get to buy a card with other people around you, not because they're all like, do it, but because you can get some honest help or wisdom or whatever. And I had been looking for a card and I only found one that was close to my price range, but it was even higher than I wanted to spend. And at the YouTube thing, I'm talking to a bunch of guys about it. Dom, so were you, Jake, but you bailed on us as soon as we walked in. But anyway, so the next day, Friday, we were like, we're gonna go right to this booth and find it. So we go walk and try to find the booth. Jake chased a squirrel somewhere, but it was Sammy Thunder, Dom, you, and Mike from Scoots Collectibles, and we go and we find this dealer. And man, that guy, I had talked to him the day before about this card, and I did the stupidest thing ever. Because I was finally excited to find it, I said, man, I have been looking everywhere for this card. This is the only one in the show. That was the stupidest thing I could have ever said. Because the next day, he had added $100 to that price tag, and it was already high the day before. And I was like, man, you went up in price. He's like, you told me this is the only one in the show. And I was like, oh my gosh, I felt so stupid. But I really wanted it, but I couldn't do it. Anyway, back and forth. Sammy, man, stepped in, put a little New York on the guy and negotiated it down to where it was legit within $10 of what I was willing to spend. And I started hearing all that stuff. Are you gonna let it ride for $10? And I'm like, you know what? For $10, I don't care. So
$10.
So I spent the $10 extra that was above where I wanted to. I got the card. I'll show you the card. But I got the Gowdy Fox, and that was phenomenal because that was one of those moments where, like, I was with a person a lot of other times, but this time I was with a group of people, and they were there to help me. And Dom's going to tell his neighbor to turn his Wi-Fi off. Uh, but that was just a phenomenal memory that I had, was to be able to find that card with a bunch of people and celebrate right there in the aisle. So anyway, there's my parting story from the national.
Dom still in the show. I can see Sammy be like, bro, are you here to sell cards or just show your collection? It's like, come on.
I didn't record it. I didn't, but I wish I did. That would be a video I would have put on. But
things got like real, and then me and Mike just started looking through the guy's case. We were all there, pulled up, and then Sammy kind of just like stepped in front of everybody,
exactly,
and
he's
took
like,
the whole
here.
thing over. So
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, there's nothing I can say that Sammy isn't already saying. So I just stood there in support.
Yeah, that was really cool, and I was not just indebted, but it was just the moment and the memory and all that stuff. And Jake, you remember? Oh no, wait, you were off looking at something else. So.
No, I remember what happened. I was with y'all. I stopped for 3 seconds to look at Case, looked back, saw y'all at a table across the way, looked at this table, looked back. Y'all were gone because I'm a very small human and I can't see over people, and I couldn't see you guys anymore.
Okay, let's go back to the part where you said I stopped and looked at a different table. I think that's where the issue started.
For like 2 seconds.
You knew you were a small person before you walked into that show. So.
I mean, that's true. That is true.
Anyway, all right, I'm done messing with Jake for now. But anyway, that's my last story I want to share.
Man, I don't really have a story. I just got this banger from George, Diamond Yard last year. Nice little Johnny Bench. Catchers, I think I love collecting catchers, not just for, the imagery. This isn't a great catcher card. I like all the catcher's gear and all that, like Elston and Berra and all that. But catcher's cards are just so cheap compared to all the other Hall of Famers. That's probably why I love collecting them.
Ray Shaw, that's a great one.
They're all so cheap. This guy.
Like
yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, speaking of Sammy and being on Lou's channel, you can spend money with your friends. I mean, I bought this from Sammy before I even walked onto the show floor in Cleveland, because this is a card I've wanted for a long time, and he made it available. The 58 San Francisco Call Bulletin, Orlando Zapata rookie.
Baby Bull, baby.
Cool. Alternative rookie, really, really cool. So buy from your friends, and those are memories as well. So it doesn't matter where you get the deals or the cards that you're happy about. It's just strictly about enjoying it and having those memories.
Oh, Legends from the Dugout. Yeah, we're missing everybody. We had Mangini and Rick and Pepino on. And those guys were ordering food.
Yeah.
So we're like, we can't do this. I was just getting hungry and they didn't show no cardboard. But yeah, it was fun. I miss everybody. I miss the National. And yeah, next year is gonna be better planned and easier for me to maneuver. So at least Strongsville and Chicago, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Chicago, I'm going to see if I can make that happen as well. What you guys think is going to happen next year for you guys individually?
Like I mentioned, unless something major happens, I'm planning on being Strongsville. I've already got a room booked. Of course, all the details got to get worked out, but I won't be going to the National. There's no way I could do both in the same year. And I'm honestly hoping Strongsville turns out to what I hope, and it comes to Atlanta in a couple of years, and then that may be my next National. So we'll see.
Hopefully, I'll be sharing a bunk bed as roomies with the Drew and Dom in Strongsville, but no National for me in 2026 either.
No National.
Drew, did you buy a suite or something? Is that why he's saying bunk buddies? What's
At
going
the
on?
Best Western?
I didn't. Never mind. I was gonna say I paid for the porta crib. You guys can duke it out. So
Oh man, that's all you, Jake. That's all you. Nah,
Head to toes.
I was originally planning to start doing every other. So my plan for right now is to budget and look for the National in Chicago next year. But Strongsville has made itself a real player in the conversation, and I'm crunching the numbers. If the numbers end up being favorable and the dates work, I might be in Strongsville instead next year. So stay tuned. I'll give updates on that.
But one or the other.
It'll only be one or the other. I won't do both.
All right. You heard it here first. Strongsville is pretty much a possibility for everyone except Jake. Jake is not doing anything. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe Strongsville. Maybe Strongsville. No national.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. Something about. I would love to go see Wrigley.
Wrigley's dope.
Yeah, but if I do the national, I don't think I'll do 5 days. I think I'll do like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, opposed to be there, fly in Tuesday, be there Wednesday, like I've done in the past. So it'd be something shortened if I do it. But this was fun, guys. I know we all have things to do. I know you just put your kids down, so enjoy the quiet, Jake.
For now.
Yeah, for now. Yeah, I know. Dom's always a pleasure. Drew, you're the man. So that's it. Peace out. Go Yankees. I'll let you chop on. I love Acuna. All right. Peace out, beautiful people.
appreciate it.